Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, inviting you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, folks, it's that time of year now where playoffs are right around the corner in high school football. All the teams finished up their region games this past week. The playoff pictures began to shape up a little bit. I know in Class 7A, you've got Hoover, you got Vestavia, you got Spain Park, and you've also got Vestavia all playing big parts and going to be in the end of the playoffs this year. And it's a good chance, you know, that the number one team in the state all year long has been Bob Jones, but they got stiff competition. Spain Park has been number 2 most of the year, and Hoover's still strong, and Vestavia's playing well, and so are the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies. So in 7A, it looks like it could be an interesting battle. In 6A, Clay Chalkville still, to me, seems to be the pick of the litter, as the old saying goes, in Class 6A. I think someone would have to play some really good football in order to knock them off. And also in Class 5A, Winona's come on sort of as a dark horse. Coach Cheatham's team is now a perfect 9-0 and haven't been ranked all season. They're someone to be reckoned with now, and I believe they're going to get their just due before it's over with. In volleyball, right around the corner, the playoffs are starting. Matter of fact, they start this week. You've got Hoover, you got Oak Mountain, you got Mountain Brook, all playing great in 7A. John Carroll in 6A, and Mortimer Jordan's having an outstanding season in 5A. Some of these teams will be making some inroads in the high school playoffs. Matter of fact, we're going to have 2 volleyball coaches and some of their athletes as our guests tonight. We'll get to those segments in just a moment. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Enjoy the summer even more with great savings from Sarah Mazda.
That's right, this is your summer to save. Get spectacular summer savings on a new Mazda. Save on new 2015 Mazda 3s, only $159 a month. Mazda 6s, only $179 a month. Or take the family on a summer trip in a Mazda CX-5 for $199 a month. And during Mazda's summer drive event, get a new Mazda and your first 2 payments are on us. Plus, all new Sarah Mazdas come with our lifetime warranty and Sarah signature.
Get incredible summer savings at Sarah Mazda,
where we'll put you in the driver's seat.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And as we promised in tonight's show, we're going to be visiting with 2 volleyball coaches, a lot of young ladies that are pretty good at the sport that they're playing. And we're going to start off by introducing Lauren Morrison. And Lauren's the head volleyball coach at Gardendale. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Coach, one of the first things I do is I ask you to tell the viewers out there that might be seeing you for the first time, talk about the road that has led you to be the head coach there at Gardendale.
Okay. I went through Gardendale, all the Gardendale schools, and played volleyball since 7th grade. Played a little club every year. And then when I graduated, I went to Shoals for a couple years and played on a scholarship. And then transferred to University of West Alabama, where I finished up playing. So I played all 4 years. And I just love it. It's my passion. I love being with the girls. They make me feel like I'm still young, and I just enjoy it. It's fun.
Well, now, talking about that, how many years now have you been involved in volleyball from the coaching position?
I came into the coaching standpoint in '05, and we were 5A at that point, and went to the state years 5 and 6. And then I took some time off and got my master's in education, and then I came back in 2010.
Well, the one thing about it too, you have been a player, grew up a player yourself, and so you've seen the involved, and you've seen the world of volleyball, seen the progression from what it used to be years ago. Now it's another major sport in high school. And the one thing I wasn't real sure about, and I hadn't asked you about this, so volleyball has some travel teams or club teams
Yes,
as
there's
well?
several local club organizations that do in the off season, in the spring, that the girls can be involved in.
So in your playing volleyball all through the years and then now being involved in coaching, I guess you could say you've been around volleyball, at least 20?
Oh, yes.
25
Yes,
years or
at
so.
least.
And so talk a little bit about the evolution of the volleyball as a sport and also the volleyball players, because I think now, and this may be the wrong way to say it, but you can let me know if it is, it's like they take their sport even more seriously than they used to.
It's a lot more competitive than it used to be. With the rules changing, they come out with some new rules every single year that changes the game. But when I was playing, the rules now is dramatically a whole new different ball game, and it's a lot more competitive with the club, with so many different clubs, that the athletes are getting better, and it's just getting a little bit harder to compete if you don't get on a travel team and play year-round in order to be really, really good. It's harder.
Well, that leads to this next question. Are you a coach that encourages your girls to play other sports, or do you maybe go along the line that, hey, if you play for the school team and you play on a travel or club team, that's what you would like them to do, because maybe they play better competition, which will help them with their school ball?
Right. We like for our athletes at Gardendale to play multiple sports. We like them to be involved in basketball and softball and volleyball or tennis or golf, just to keep them in shape and going all year. But what I would like for them to do is play club year-round. But we have some good athletes that are good in both or several sports, and so it's hard to pull those athletes and say, you need to stick with this, because they're just as good as the other ones.
Well, now, I've got to be honest, I'm more of a football, baseball, basketball guy, but I've learned the other sports, soccer and volleyball and tennis and what have you, through the years. Talk about, from your standpoint, a coach's standpoint, because I've asked the athletes about it before, but I'd be curious as what you say. For the sport of volleyball, talk about the strategy in preparing for an opponent, and maybe the game plan, because I truly don't really understand that, and I know there is one.
Right. Well, we start in the summer. Volleyball is nice because it's fall. So we start in the summer with conditioning and getting into shape, prepared for, our season. And then when we start playing with balls, we just work hard. It's fun. We have a fun time. But it is a lot of preparation in the off season in order to get to where we need to be as a team.
Now, and I may be misleading in the question just a little bit, but I'm going to ask you this way. Is volleyball more of a strategy sport or a reaction sport?
It's more of a reaction. It's more of a reaction. You can't really you can prepare for a match skill-wise, but it just depends on whoever makes the least amount of mistakes.
Well, now, being the coach, the only way I can equate this, because I know you play defense, and I know you play offense, so that is similar to other sports.
Right.
Now, what do you look like? What's the key that tells you this player would be better on the defensive side of the ball? This player probably would be a whole lot better on the offensive side of the ball. How do you determine that?
Size, speed, quickness. If we have a player who is fast enough to get to balls, then we usually put them on the back. If we have a tall player that can move, we would have them on the front to hit and block. So that's really, you're looking at height and size, and then how well you move. It's going to depend on where you play.
And that makes pretty good sense. And another question I would ask you, talk about the popularity of the sport and also how it is supported by the school, the parents. I think that support and participation has really picked up the last few years.
Yes, we have a good fan base, and we have good parent support. Obviously, they make my job really easy when they haul girls to and from matches. But we have a decent crowd that comes to the games. Now, not as much as like say a big like basketball game,
Right.
but we do have fans who come and support on a regular basis, friends and families that cheer us on.
Well, and another question as time has gotten away from us, a little over a minute or so left in this segment. Talk about, from a coach's standpoint, are you the kind of coach that believes, and I guess you're in charge of the scheduling that y'all have, are you the kind of coach that believes in playing what I would call tougher opponents, whether you win or lose, you grow from it, or do you want to put some of the, if I lack of a better word, not as talented teams in there, and where your team might not grow? How do you look at
We
that?
do a little bit of both. We play some really tough over-the-mountain schools that we know that it's going to be hard to compete with, but we always put up a fight, and sometimes we come away with a victory. And we also play some not as skilled, just to keep our morale going and our intensity high, and so we do a little bit of both.
Well, as our interview comes to a close, the final question I will ask you is, that's team picking, and most coaches want this at the right time here at this stage of the season.
Do what now?
They're peaking.
Oh, yes. Well, we actually ended our season Friday.
Oh, really?
We ended Friday at Huntsville at regionals. We played Albertville, which ended up, they are going to the state. They're actually going to compete in state Wednesday and Thursday. So they beat us out Friday, but makes us feel a little bit better that we are going to play a state. They are still in it, a state-ranked team. So
well, that's terrific. Well, listen, awfully good to see you, and maybe next year we look for bigger and better.
Yes, absolutely.
But still had a good year this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, and we come back. 4 young ladies, very instrumental in the season they had this year. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Oh, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gardendale in Trussville today.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And folks, welcome back. And of course, as you can see, we've got 4 outstanding young athletes as well as young ladies here standing beside me and sitting. And closest to me, Katie Crowder, a senior. All these young ladies are senior. You're an outside hitter.
Yes, sir.
Right? And Bailey Moffitt, a senior libero. And I know that's a defensive specialist. Don't know much about it, but I know that. Anna Grace Brake, a senior defensive specialist, right? And then Riley Hopper, also a senior, and you're a defensive specialist. Okay, girls, going into this season, and I know you had a pretty good season that just ended. So talk about this season, what it has meant to you, you being seniors. And so we will start off with you, Katie, and tell us what this year, as far as the season, was like for you.
I think this season really reflected a lot of heart and teamwork. We come together as a family, and I've played with these girls for about 6 years now. And senior year is really the year that you look up to, you look forward to and forward to getting to, because it's the year where it's all about the seniors, and you look forward to being the captain and being able to lead your team and get them in the right direction.
Well, good. Now, Bailey, we're going to follow this up. I want to ask you this question. One of the most important ingredients with a team is team chemistry. And the reason why is important. One, if y'all like each other and try your best as individuals and as a team, you're going to be the best you can be if the chemistry's good. Now, you don't want to always be, and don't take this personal, cat fighting, you know, but if you, and every once in a while I know there are disagreements, and that's understandable, but talk about the team chemistry and how it probably helped y'all to have as good a season as you did.
I think our team chemistry this year is really good because we all started playing at the same time, and on varsity especially, because whenever we were in 8th grade, the people we're playing with now are in 7th grade, so we've really played with each other since 7th grade, so it went really well.
Well, good. And Anna Grace, was there a team in particular, or teams, because I ask athletes this all the time, that you look forward to competing against during the year, maybe more than another?
I mean, Hewitt's always one of our big rivals, like with football and basketball and everything, so that's always fun, especially when you win. And then, yeah, I like playing Hewitt.
Okay. Well, that's a good opponent, and so I imagine y'all had some spirited matches with Hewitt. Riley, one question I'd like to ask you is, athletes are different, and I've had some athletes tell me they feel more comfortable playing at home, in front of home cooking, the home crowd, and all that support. But I've also had some tell me they enjoy playing away because they didn't seem like there was much pressure on them away to win as it is at home. How do you feel about that?
Well, me personally, you know, I've always liked playing at home and away, kind of equally, because, you know, at home you can show off to all of your friends and family. I mean, it kind of sucks though if you lose, so you kind of want to try your hardest. Yeah. But, you know, also away, you kind of can chill out and lay back a little bit, but I mean, still play your hardest. No, you know, none of that. But like, you kind of like, it's just a different scenery, and it's cool to like visit new places and stuff, and it's it's a different view.
Well, like I said, I've had some athletes tell me they even feel a little more comfortable because of that pressure that sometimes we could put on ourselves at home, you know. All right, now all you girls are seniors. Are any of you going to college to play volleyball?
No.
Okay, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that because it perfectly segues into my next question. And we're going to start with you, Katie. Being a senior, do you know where you're going to school?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, now not yet, that's a very popular university. But once you get to not yet, do you have any idea of what you would like to do one day? Get in sports, be a coach, like Coach Morrison there, or what are your aspirations?
Right now I'm going to study, I'm a major in nursing, and once I get my career going, I'm looking to have my own club team, and I want to be the coach to kind of, I want to take them from the youngest age possible and carry them from 12, 13 all the way to 18 when they leave club ball.
Well, great. It sounds like you have a game plan, you know. Okay, Bailey, how about you?
I want to go in and study nursing, and then after that, I want to become a travel nurse.
Really? Now, what does a travel nurse do? and I was going to say it may be simplified just by going from place to place, but I don't understand exactly what you're saying. Like instead of one hospital, you want to travel around or something like that?
They pay, like the hospital pay for you to go to this certain location, and you're there for like 2 or 3 months, and then you'll travel and you'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
On and on.
Yeah, now I've talked to a lot of people about it, male and female, about nursing. That's the first time I've ever had it explained to me like that they have positions like that. All right, Anna Grace, how about you?
I want to go to UNA.
Okay.
And I want to do like accounting and business, because one day I want to own my own business, but you can't do that right off the bat, so you gotta have
you got to start somewhere. It's just called the ground floor.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, do you see that maybe once you get off from your business, you might want to go coach a little on the side, or?
I don't know. We'll see.
You just don't know if that love is that much. Maybe you might leave that behind.
Yeah.
That you left all the love for volleyball. Okay, back at Gardendale. How about you, Riley?
Well, it's kind of a tug between 2 colleges. UAB and Troy is what I really want to go towards. And I do want to strive to be a child psychologist.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity and a challenge, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I've always wanted to do something like not the typical kind of job people do, and also help kids, you know?
Right.
But that's what I kind of want to do.
Good. When the girls, this is the first time I have met any of y'all, but it's nice to know that y'all, a lot of you know my grandson, so I don't feel like we're completely strangers. But here's the question I got to ask. Now, and I know that this should be good, that there's something that y'all are good at or really enjoy that I have no idea what it is. Now, I'll give you an example. Maybe some of you write poetry. Maybe some of you sing in the shower, but when the shower goes off, we sound horrible. But in the shower, we're really good. But what I'm getting at is maybe a hobby or something you really enjoy doing that I don't know about, and I would be surprised. Oh, really? You like to do that? And guess who's first, Katie?
Well, there's not much time to do stuff during season around volleyball, but around season I like to read, and I like art, and I like listening to music, more just kind of stuff you can relax and do.
Really? Now, when you say listen to music, what's your favorite kind?
Country music.
Oh, bless your heart. You're older probably than you look. I don't mean that ugly anyway, but country, let me tell you, now I'm pure country. You're 70 years old, you can be pure country, okay? But this new age country, to me, some of it don't sound country at all, but to y'all maybe it does, but that's good. We're part country, okay. Bailey, how about you?
I like to spend time with my family a lot, and I'm really involved in my youth group, and I like to just do stuff around the church.
Really?
And help
Well,
out
that's
whatever
good.
they do.
That's good. Is that your way of relaxing and maybe, getting away from the stress of hitting that volleyball around?
Yes.
Anna Grace, how about you?
Oh, goodness. I just like to hang out with my friends and have fun and laugh.
Really? Yeah, well, we don't want to hang out with our friends and cry. No, that wouldn't be.
No, I mean, you just gotta have fun wherever you go.
Yeah, well, that's true. Are you the life of the party? Yes. Really? I would have never guessed that. Riley, how about you?
Nobody here probably knows that I actually like to write.
Really?
And it's like basically little short stories and stuff, but I haven't really done that in a while recently. Instead, I've been writing with my brother, and he just got sent off to basic training for the Army and stuff. So I've been trying to write what I usually would in my short stories and kind of do that with telling him every day that he doesn't miss when he's in basic training.
Yeah, well, that's neat. That's an aspect or an avenue I never thought about. I guarantee you, your brother probably appreciates it. All right, girls, all of you are seniors, and I know that the coach looked to seniors this year to help them sometimes, and so that's a very important aspect about it. But what I would like to know, and we'll start with you, Katie, is if a young lady come up to you and said, I've been thinking about playing volleyball, but I just don't know if I want to or not, what would you say to her?
I'd tell her to do it. You know, middle school, that's where I made some of my best friends, is through volleyball, and you carry those friendships from middle school throughout high school, and sometimes even throughout college. Once you split off, and the ones that go and play in college, you carry those friendships, and once you get to college, and even if you're going to different schools in high school, you get to have that competitive edge against each other on each side of the net. So I'd tell them to absolutely go and do it.
Well, I was going to say that would be awfully encouraging for anybody that would be interested. Well, girls, I've got one question I like to ask all my guests before I let them get off the set, and that is, and especially for you girls that are seniors now, and we'll start with you again, Katie. To this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Most inspirational would probably be my grandmother on my mom's side. She's always been there to care for us, and she lives 10 minutes away, so it's like I've lived my whole life with her, and she's always pushing us to do the right thing, to be the kind person, to be the person that steps out and helps other people in their time of need, and she's just really impacted my life.
Good. Bailey?
The most inspirational people to me would be my Mima and my Papa. Okay. They've just always been there for me, and I grew up, me and my mom lived with them for a while, so I always call my Papa my big buddy.
Okay.
Just because they're always there whenever I need them.
That's neat. How about you, Anna Grace?
Probably my Mimi and my BT, because they're like, you need anything, they're there. Like, they're just the best grandparents ever.
Okay, Riley?
My dad, because he's a single father, and he's raised me and my brother up since we were real young, and he's always tried to strive for me, to teach me to be independent and to think for myself, and go for whatever I want to do, and don't quit when you got halfway through it, or whenever, how long you go, just finish it through and stuff.
Well, good for you. And girls, I want you to know it's been a delightful experience visiting with y'all, and good luck to y'all as you head off to college, okay?
Thank you.
Folks, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, another coach, another group of athletes. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As we promised earlier, we have another volleyball coach, and of course we're talking about Perry Robinson of the Pelham Panthers. And Coach Robinson, good to see you. First question that I would ask you is, a lot of times I want the coaches to talk about what led you to end up being the head volleyball coach there at Pelham. Tell us about your background a little bit.
Well, I've coached a little bit of college, a little bit of high school, and about 4 years ago, my wife and family, we moved back from out of town from Houston, Texas, back to Birmingham, and was looking for a job. And the coaching, there's kind of a carousel going around, and Pelham was one of the jobs that was open. And fortunately, I met up with Coach Kim Keel, our athletic director, and things just worked out that they hired me and been there the whole time. It's been great.
Well, the one question I would ask you, because I think you may be the first volleyball coach that I can remember of anyway, that has coached both high school and college. Tell me a little bit of what the difference would be in a high school volleyball athlete and a college athlete.
Yeah, it's the game's the same mostly. Probably the big difference from high school to college is, in college, you probably worry about the other side of the net a little bit more, and on our side, in high school, it's more worry about what you're going to do. We just don't have the time with them to really, we play so much, it's hard to focus on the team across the net. So you're really just managing what's on your side mostly, because you're just, most weeks we'll only practice twice and play 3 or 4 days, so it's pretty hard to spend a lot of time scouting the other team and getting ready for them. Now sometimes teams we play a lot, we can do that, but other times it's hard to focus on anything else what's on your side of the net.
Talk about it, if you would, for just a second, the strategy involved from your position as the head coach, and because I'm a big guy into the football, basketball, baseball. I understand those sports more, learn to know more about volleyball and soccer and other sports that the young ladies are involved in because of my program. And so talk about that aspect a little bit. What's the preparation like, for a better way to put it, on the offensive, defensive side, or is volleyball just a more reaction type sport?
There's a lot of reaction to volleyball, but we do have some basic principles we work on offensively. We have things we want to do. Volleyball, the big thing is controlling the ball, because you can't, like basketball, you can dribble it and control it. Football, you can catch it and run with it. Volleyball, rebound sport, so you're trying to make the ball go where you want it to go consistently, and that becomes the issue. So spend a lot of time working on those basic skills of first contact. You can ask the players about that. I say that word a lot. First contact defense, first contact serve receive. So we spend a lot of time focusing on the small parts of the game. We may spend time on 2 of the 3 contacts. We may do a lot of passing and setting, a lot of setting and hitting, and then you try and put it all together. But yeah, we do have some things we want to accomplish when we're playing, but the other team's trying to make sure we can't do those, so that's the challenge right there.
One question that I would ask that I'm not real sure what the answer to it is, when it comes to deciding when these young ladies come out for your varsity program, what are you looking at? What's the determining factors primarily when you say, well, once I see how you are, I'm going to put you on the offensive side of the net, or I'm going to make you play more defense? And because it's an offensive defensive game, like most sports, right?
Well, a little bit. They've got to be able to, for us, they've got to be able to do it all. So we're looking, year one when you get there, it's trying to evaluate what you have. And this is the end of my 4th season. So now we have tryouts, and we're looking for what's returning. We're looking for fit. We're looking for need. We're looking for level of play. And then you try and take all that up and kind of jumble it together and try and find 6 that can work together on the court. So you're trying to find, a lot of it is positional, and then what we think. We may have some really good athletes that aren't great volleyball players, but you've been around a lot of coaches. We like to find things we can't coach, and then we can teach them the volleyball part of it. So that's been a fun part for my staff and I, to try and evaluate who can get better, faster, and play at a certain level.
When I know, and I'm learning more about volleyball every time I talk to coaches and athletes, but are you one of these do you have multiple sport athletes on your team, or do you tend to hope that most of your athletes, their outside sports is the club volleyball or whatever? Which way would you tell them to go?
Well, you can't go wrong either way. We have a lot of multi-sport. You're going to talk to a couple that have won state championships in other sports. We've got girls that have played club. We've got girls that have, some girls have only volleyball they've ever played has been for Pelham, and they've done real well for us. So it's kind of a mixed bag as a volleyball coach. You're like, well, it'd be nice they only play club, but sometimes that's not the best answer for them. The multi-sport athletes, I really do like them because they're used to, they go from one to the next, so they're not always comfortable with what's going on, and they're used to, like, the 2 here are track, and they're used to saying, okay, do this, and they can be left alone and they'll get it done. And we tell them every year, in Pelham, the volleyball, you're going to get drills started. We may walk away, but got to keep doing the drills. And that's been helpful for us as coaches, that they'll just keep working. We like that.
When I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about football, and say, coach, is your team peaking at the right time? Translate that into me in volleyball talk. And I'm sure every coach, I would think, wants their athletes, regardless of what the sport is to be the best they can be, building up to the climax, which would be the playoffs, which you guys are going to be involved in. Is your team peaking at the right time?
I would just have to say, yeah, we're playing at a pretty good level. We had a good weekend down in Montgomery at the South Super Regional, ended up as the 3rd seed, but you know, our only loss was the team who's the 1st seed. So you're looking at it, well, if we had to lose to one, that's probably the best one to lose to, and we like our matchups coming up Wednesday and Thursday if we get that far. But we're definitely played very well this weekend and looking forward to getting back at it on Wednesday.
And talking about your school in particular, and you've been there, this is your fourth
year,
season,
yes, sir.
I think. As they talk about the participation in girls and volleyball, are you having a lot more athletes taking part, coming out for the team than you thought there would be?
Yeah, we've got good numbers. Pelham split with Alena, which lowered our numbers. But for last year they were a little down first year after the split. This year we bounced right back up. We like our numbers where they're at. It's been good.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, you've had a good season thus far. You're going to have a chance to make it an even better season. So I'm hoping that, like you say, that the young ladies are peaking at the right time, and that you and your girls are ready for the challenge, because I guess it's that way for any coach. This is the way you want it. You want to have a good season, and then you want to make it to the playoffs, and then just see how far you can go, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Well, you've had a good season so far, and the playoffs are starting this week. We wish you all the luck in the world, and thanks for coming by and visiting with us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll take a quick break. We come back. 5 young ladies that's had a real big imprint on this year's team. We'll be right back. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And in this segment, you can tell there's 5 outstanding young athletes sitting and standing beside me, and we're going to find out a little bit more about them. First of all, sitting closest to me, Jordan Allison, a senior, and you are a libero,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And I do know enough to know that that's a defensive specialist. Josie Harwood is a senior middle hitter, middle blocker, right?
Yes, sir.
And then Courtney Hayhurst, senior, and you're a middle hitter, middle blocker. Erin Hines, a senior, outside hitter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that lady's sister, Sarah. Sarah Sudd on the end, a senior, and you're a right side hitter. Wow, I got all of that. Now that is really something for a guy that's not that used to it. All right, we'll start with you, Jordan. Going into this season, now y'all are fixing to play in the playoffs. Going into this season, just between me and you, are y'all playing your best volleyball right now?
I do think we are playing our best. It was a little rough at the beginning, but then we definitely found out a way to put it all together, and so we're doing really good right now.
Good. Josie, one question I would like to ask you, do you feel like you grow as a player by playing the less talented competition or playing the stiffer competition?
I would have to say that we grow stronger as players when we play tougher competition, because when we play lower competition, we tend to go down to their level. So we compete most with the tougher competition.
Yeah, you play down sometimes.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you, but personally, do you like seeing that tougher team on the schedule? Because it could be a challenge, because you're going to have to be better.
I do. It tells us, or shows us how we need to play. And so if we go on playing a different team, we'll just kind of mess around with them. But if we play a tougher team, they hire our standards on what we have to do to compete with them or to get the win from them.
Okay. Courtney, one question I'd like to ask you, are you an athlete that you enjoy home cooking, playing before the home crowd, everybody rah, rah, yay, yay, and good, or do you prefer going on the road where I've had a lot of athletes tell me snappers don't seem to be as much pressure. I relax and seem to play a little bit better because you want to win for the home crowd and all, but does that bother you one way or the other? You prefer one over the other?
I actually would say that I prefer playing at home, just the fact that we have our home support and we have our student section and all of our close fans, and like it's maybe more pressure to win and it may be a little more intense, but it's definitely good for us.
Well, I will tell you this, you're probably the normal athlete, that most of them feel that way, but it doesn't surprise me that quite a few say, yeah, I sort of enjoy on the road for two reasons. One, the one we talked about, not having to, you know, the pressure of playing in the home folks, but silencing a hostile crowd sometimes when you go on the road. Aaron, is there one team on y'all's schedule this year that you've enjoyed playing against or competing against more than another?
Yes, sir. I've enjoyed playing John Carroll. They give us a run for our money, you know, and it's really good because you can play at a high level.
Well, I was going to say, the way you said that lets me know that you don't shy away from the better competition that sort of brings out the best in you, right?
Right.
Well, that brings us to Sister Sarah. Now, Sarah, here's what I want to know. Now, you got you 5 young ladies, I met you for the first time. There's a thing in sports called chemistry. Now, if you've got good team chemistry, 1, you can be the best you can be as an individual, and 2, we can be the best we can be as a team. Now, without putting any of the young ladies on the spot, talk about the chemistry and the makeup of this team, and has it been a positive or negative factor at times?
Honestly, we have a very positive chemistry amongst our team. And of course, every team, they're going to have their ups and downs. But once we step foot on that court, we all come together as one and we play as one unit.
Now, this is it's a curiosity question, sort of, and I'll ask you this. Being a senior, do you lead by example, or if you have to, do you mind getting in the grill of a teammate that might not be doing what they're supposed to be doing?
Honestly, I would say that being a leader, it needs to be by action and not preferably getting into the drama or the business, but always taking the step further and doing it actively and not causing any more of it and stirring it up.
That's a very good answer. Now, Aaron, what I want to know is there are times you might feel like that's the perfect answer, but are there times when you, if you have to, you would say something to a teammate and you might not say it in a Sister Sarah kind of way. You know, you might say, Aaron, hey, this is it. You're going to do this. The rest of us have to do it. You're going to do it. Would you do that?
Yes, sir. There comes times, you know, you just got to get it together. I mean, can't be fooling around all the time.
Bless your heart. I don't believe in beating around the bush. You
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
I mean.
Okay, girls. Now we're going to get down to some serious business. This is the first time I met you 5 young ladies. Now, example, you might have a hobby, something you enjoy doing that old snapper don't know about, but it might surprise me. You know, you might love to sing in the shower. You know, we're all 10s, a big hit. When the shower's going, when you cut it off, boy, some of us sound bad. Or you might like to write poetry or have a hobby. Y'all being volleyball players, one of you might like swing the golf club. You get the idea of what we're talking about?
Yes.
Good. Now that I said what I want to say, I want to hear what you've got to say. And so, Jordan, we'll start with you.
Okay. I play the piano.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right, the first thing you got to ask, and I don't know anything about a piano, and they sound good if somebody knows how to play it. Classical, or you just laid back, or what?
My grandmother puts sheets in front of me and I just play the music.
Really? So you read the music, you can read it, so you can just play about anything, right?
Yes, sir.
But the piano, well, bless your heart. Do you sing?
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, okay.
Lord, no.
You're strictly a player. Okay. All right, Josie, what about you?
I would say other than volleyball, I probably don't have many hobbies. If during my free time, I guess I'd have to say you probably find me most around my family. I'm
Really?
a really big family girl.
Well, there's absolutely nothing
I'm
wrong
the
with
biggest
that.
daddy's girl.
And I guarantee you the family probably appreciates it. Where a lot of the other girls are out the door and headed to do their thing, you stay inside and do yours at home, right?
Yes, sir.
That's terrific. Courtney, how about you?
Honestly, I'd have to say one of my favorite hobbies would be writing. I don't like write to get published or anything, but if I can sit down and just write a story, I enjoy that.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it stories or essays or anything about a certain particular thing?
Sometimes just like how I'm feeling. Sometimes
Okay.
it's a story I make up.
Your
or
personal thoughts.
From past experiences.
Okay, great. Aaron?
It sounds odd, but I like to run.
A runner. Well, let me tell you something. We have something coming. It ain't running, okay? But I'm a walker, and so I walk 3 or 4 miles a day, and I've done it 8 months in a row and hadn't missed a day. So whatever you're doing, whether it's running or walking, you do it on a regular basis, right?
Yes.
Where you can get the most out of it.
Right.
Good for you, Sister Sarah.
In my downtime, I love to paint and sketch and do photography. So I'm more of the art background.
You sound very versatile. You're not hostile, are you? No, that's neat. You're well-rounded, do a lot of things. Okay, girls, you're all seniors. It's off to college next year. Are any of you going to play volleyball anywhere?
I am.
You are? All right, well, we'll start with you then. Sarah, tell me where you're going.
I'm going to Birmingham Southern.
Okay, and what kind of subjects will you be taking? Because when you, I don't know how to say this other than just come right out and say it. If you go in Birmingham Southern, you got it up here. So what are you going to do with that knowledge?
I plan on majoring in psychology and minoring in art.
Really? Well, good for you. Okay, Aaron, how about you? What do you hope to do in college, or what kind of subjects, and what would you like to be one day?
Well, in college, I hope to be doing track, but if I get an offer for volleyball, I don't mind stepping out there on the court, and I want to major in sports management.
You do? Okay, well, having said that, does the idea of being a coach ever enter your mind?
Yes, sir.
Really? So you might like that one day? Yes. Okay, Courtney?
I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to go or if I'm playing volleyball or not. I'm hoping to.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to major in nutrition, preferably in the realm of sports.
Okay, well, great. How about you, Josie?
So far, I've talked to a couple of volleyball coaches, but I did go down to visit South Alabama, and it was very homish to me. So I have applied there, and I got accepted to go into pre-nursing.
Well, good for you. Jordan?
I haven't decided yet if I want to play volleyball or run track in college.
Okay.
So, and then I have no idea what I want to major in.
That's all right.
So I'm just completely undecided.
Believe it or not, no idea is a very popular subject. A lot of people haven't. Well, girls, it's been a delight to have you on with me. Time's getting away from us, but I got one question I always have to ask. And so it's interesting. I'm always interested in what you girls, as well as the other athletes, have to say about it. And we'll start with you, Jordan. So far, y'all are all seniors fixing to go off to college. So far, who's been the most inspirational person or persons in your life?
Like volleyball related, or just
No, your family or whatever.
Okay, probably my grandmother. I have always looked up to her. She's just always someone who I can go to about anything and talk to about anyone or anything. So yeah.
Good for
Nothing
you,
around her.
Josie.
Like I said earlier, it'd probably have to be my family, mainly my parents.
Good for you, Courtney.
I'd honestly just have to say that my middle school volleyball coach had a really big impact on my life.
Okay, good for you, Aaron.
I'd have to say my teammates, because they picked me up.
Oh, bless your heart. Good for you, Sister Sarah.
My parents, they've been my biggest support system throughout all the years.
Well, good. Girls, I want to wish you good luck. You've had a good season thus far. Playoffs coming up. Be dynamite, okay? Nice to meet all of you. And good luck as you head off to college, okay? Folks, next week, same time, same place, we'll have new coaches, new athletes. You know what Snapper always says, bicycle.